Hey, this is John Christopher, and in this video, we're going to be talking about the key points of what is Microsoft Copilot for Security. This is a very powerful tool. It allows me to go in and type questions into the prompts that you see here and interact with the various security systems that we have in our Microsoft 365 Azure environment. I've got these things called prompt books that essentially allow specialized prompts that can collect data, organize it a certain way, and help me investigate it. I've got plugins that allow me to interact with the various services in my environment. But before you can really dive in and do hands-on with Microsoft Copilot for Security, you kind of need to understand what it is. So we're going to be getting into that. And as always, I hope you'll give me a like and subscribe. Trying really hard to build this channel up and provide free content. Also, I have a discount going on at examlabpractice.com/courses for all of my courses. So visit examlabpractice.com/courses and get that discount coupon code. I'd like to help you now understand one of Microsoft's biggest and most upcoming security technologies that we have with our Microsoft 365 Azure Intra environment today. It's called Copilot for Security. So what is Copilot for Security? Well, I guess it's not really a shocker that AI is sort of taking over the industry right now in terms of just becoming this assistive tool that can really help us drill down and troubleshoot issues, fix issues, but also discover different types of things that are happening in our environment, namely attacks and incidents and things like that might be happening. So what is Copilot for Security? Well, it's an AI powered security solution that Microsoft has put out. It's based on generative AI, meaning you're going to be able to interact with it, and it's going to generate information on the fly to help us with improving our environment and namely securing our environment. Okay, so it's there to assist us and help us improve security overall. It's there to help us be more efficient, and it's going to act as a tool. It's not necessarily built to fix our security problems, but it is there to help us with troubleshooting and discovering the various things that are going on. Now, what are the use cases for this? Well, number one, incident summarization. Whereas before, we security professionals would have to decipher through all these logs and look for various types of events, various types of security alerts, and some of these are very complex. And with the help of Copilot for Security, this essentially can be done for us on the fly. It can locate these security incidents and put them in a certain order for us. It can help us do an impact analysis as well. In other words, we can look at the various insights that the AI is going to provide us and look at how it's affecting our environment. If certain types of sensitive information, for example, have been compromised or exfiltrated, meaning it's made its way outside of our organization, this can help us discover it. Another thing would be script reverse engineering. So you really kind of had to understand and drill down into the code if you're going to do any kind of reverse engineering of a type of malware or something like that, a virus, a worm, whatever it may be in your environment. This can assist us in that. If we've got a hold of or access some code, it can actually assist us in reverse engineering that for us. Now, I'm not saying it still doesn't pay to be an admin that actually understands some programming, but with AI, it can really drill down and find a lot of the stuff that's going on inside of this code and help us discover things that perhaps we might have missed. So this, to me, is one of the most valuable things that we get in terms of AI, is this reverse engineering capabilities. Another thing we've got is guided response. So this is going to basically provide us a step-by-step set of actions that can help us in a scenario where we've discovered an incident. If we needed to triage or prioritize that incident, or various incidents, I should say, In other words, if we got quite a few incidents to deal with, what should we go after first, right? And then it's going to help us with remediation. So it's going to help us respond, prioritize, and remediate the types of incidents that we're dealing with. So another thing that's great about Copilot for security is that it can integrate with various products, Microsoft products, but also third-party products. So this is going to work with your Microsoft Defender XDR. It works with Sentinel. It works with Intune. And, of course, it's also becoming more and more available with third-party products as well, non-Microsoft products that Microsoft has partnered up with. Now, another thing you have is plugins. So the great thing about plugins is you got to look at it from the standpoint of Copilot only has access to the things that you have access to. And you give it access to. Actually, the interesting thing about Copilot is it runs under the authority of your account. So whatever privileges your account has access to, that is what Copilot will have access to. Copilot for security. Okay. Now, you can give it access over to other services. Granted, you must have access to those other services. Now, the way you do that is through what are called plugins. So these plugins are going to integrate with data from both Microsoft as well as third-party products, and it's going to provide you some visualization. It's going to provide you with some description data. It's going to give you access to the various logs, summarize those logs on whatever the product is that it is linking to. The final thing is that Copilot for Security uses natural language interaction. In other words, you would sort of think of collaborating with Copilot as though it was a person. You're going to interact with it by typing information to it, but it also has pre-configured prompts. You'll see these things called prompt books that essentially are prompts to help it you prompt what you want it to do. It'll have a series of steps that it will perform against data. For example, one of the steps might be to go and collect all the data from a certain place, and then the next prompt would have it go through and put that into some type of special order that you want it into. And the next prompt after that might go through and try to select and give a prioritization like high, medium, and low based on the stuff it's discovered. So on and so forth, but you can actually interact with it. Microsoft's got quite a bit of these prompts that are already set up for you, but you can customize all of that, and again, you can interact with it as though it was a person, and you sort of want to look at it from the standpoint of, if I had this expert security professional sitting next to me and I had questions and I needed this expert security professional to do things on my behalf, I can ask it just like a person, and it's going to try to go through and do that for you. Okay. And with that said, hopefully now you have a much better understanding of the key points of what Copilot for Security is.